Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sonia Obede, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you step by step on how to bust braid, and I'll be giving you several methods in which you can grip the root. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using this dummy head, or you can call it a training head. I'm going to be using this extension. I'm going to be using some extension, a crochet hook, and these are the other items I'm going to be using. I've got some rubber band here. To demonstrate the method which I'm going to be illustrating today. So I have this here, and I've sectioned the parts that I want to braid. So as a beginner, I would recommend you start with the natural hair first. You start using extension to practice, because when you are used to the natural hair, you don't find it too difficult to handle both the extension and your natural hair. But if you just jump into using extension to practice, you might find it more difficult first because you haven't mastered your natural hair first. So I recommend you use your natural hair for practice first before adding extension. So I'm going to start by, after sectioning, I've sectioned this 3 equal parts of hair already. So this is my left hand side and this is the right hand. So I'm going to use the one at this left hand side to overlap or cross the one at the center. Then after crossing, you see the way they are looking now. I'm going to use this one too, the one at the right hand side. I'm going to use it to cross or to overlap the one at the center. Then the one at the left hand side, you overlap it again to the one at the center. Just continue like that. You still overlap the one at the right. Basically it's just the one at the left, you overlap to the center. Then the one at the right, you overlap to the center. This is what you are going to continue to do. But make sure before you release your hand, or before you continue braiding up, don't just braid up at once. In order for your roots to be tight, make sure you braid closer to the roots at least 3 times before you continue to braid up. Because if you don't do it like that, if you don't braid closer to the roots, you won't have a tight root. So you just continue to braid. You just continue to overlap one to another, from the left to the right. From the right side you overlap, from the left side you just continue to overlap it like that to the back. Yeah, just continue. That's basically how you braid. So after this, I'm going to be teaching you is rubber band method. It's a tiny band. I bought the pack for £1. So you see, this is the band I'm using. This is the band I'm using. So all you do is you wrap, just fold the band into 2 around the hair. You see the way I'm wrapping it? Just wrap it like this around the hair, and you make sure it's tight enough to the roots. So I'm going to take my extension, and I'll take my extension. This extension is already stretched. I've stretched it already. The ends are stretched. See, this is the extension I'm going to be using, and a crochet hook. So for this method, all you do is you don't overlap. You see, I only have just one extension. I only have just one extension. So all you do is you take your crochet hook, you pass it, just pass the crochet hook under the hair. Then I'll take my extension, take my extension like this. Yes, I'll fold it. See, just one. I'll fold it and put it on the crochet hook, on the top of the crochet hook, and you close the hook. You close the hook in order for you to be able to grab it and pull it out into the hair, under the hair. So you make sure you secure the band well to the root of the hair. This method is really good when your client hair, or for short hair. This method is really good for short hair. It really holds the hair well, perfectly, and secure, very well secure. So but for this method, you have to be careful so that the rubber, the band, the tiny band you use in holding the roots doesn't show. So in order for that band not to show, you have to, you see this one at the end, the one at the top, not the one at the downside. You see, one is at the down and one is at the top. The one at the top, you just use it like this, you share it, because we need 3 legs. So just divide this one into 2 to make the third leg, so, or the third piece. So you have this hair as well, you have to divide it either into 2 or into 3. In this case, I'm going to be dividing the hair into 3 parts. So I'll give one part to this leg, give one part to this leg, and give one part to the other leg. Note, I would have used the hair as the third piece, but if I do that, this one is going to come like this, the extension is going to come like this. And you see, if I braid, you see the rubber, the rubber which I used to secure the root is going to start showing, so we don't need that. So in order for you to have a neat braid or a neat root, you have to just divide this extension into 2 parts, and you divide the hair into 3 parts as well. You give each strand, or each extension, you give each extension one hair each. So you just overlap, you just start overlapping the hair one after the other. You see, you overlap this one, you start with the left hand side, the one at the left hand side, you use it to overlap the one at the center, and you hold the one at the center with your left hand side, with your left hand. So you overlap the one at your right hand side also. You just continue to overlap it, and there you go. You see, just continue to overlap. You see the rubber band, the band in which I use in securing the roots, is neatly covered. You can't see any band anymore. So that is the way you should do it. If you do it the other way around, you are going to have an exposed rubber band, and the root will not be neat. So you just continue to overlap the hair. You just overlap one after the other. So basically, that's how you do your braids. So this is the rubber band method. This is the method I usually use. Is really good and nice, most especially if your client hair is short. I recommend you always use this method. I have tried it, I've been using it, and it's working for me. So always use this method if you know, or if you can't really grip that much, or you are finding it difficult to grip, use this rubber band method with your crochet hook. There you are good to go. See, it's neat and nice, and it's really secured. So you are good to go. So that's it with that method. The method I'm going to be using is this one method. It's just a 2-strand, so I just have this strand this piece of hair to use. So I'm going to be I'm going to be placing it on the top of this hair. You see, I'm going to be placing it on the top of this hair like this, and the hair is going to be the third piece. So I'll place it like this, and I'll use it to wrap it around like twice. See, I'm going to wrap it around one tightly, because this method is really tricky. Your hair can easily slip away. The hair can easily slip away from your hand. So after wrapping it twice with the hair, then you just begin to overlap the extension or the hair over another, and you make sure you braid your hair closely to the scalp or to the root, so that you don't lose the hair. Also, you can have a tight and secure root. So you just continue to overlap it after the other. You just overlap it one after the other. So basically, that is the second method of how you can grip your hair. So just continue like that. I have this piece of extension with me. I'll just section extension into two unequal halves. That is, one will be bigger than the other, and the smaller one is half of the big one, because the smaller one is going to be put together. You see, I'm going to cross it with the bigger one, and the smaller side is going to be put together to make the third piece. And when you put it together, it becomes equal. It becomes equal size with each of this piece, by making it smaller. But if it's the same size, when you put them together, this other side will become bigger than the other side. So in order to avoid that, because you have to make them equal, so you make sure this smaller piece is half of this bigger one, or the one that is going to be separated, to make it. You section the hair into 3 equal parts. Place this one. You give each part one. You give each. You see, each of this extension, you give each of them one hair each. One part of hair each. I give this one. This start doing is cross them. You cross the hair, or you overlap the hair from one side to the other, from the left hand side to the right hand side, from the right hand side to the left hand side. You make sure you grip well from the root. Make sure the root is well secured, like 3 times before you continue braiding up, because if the root is not tight enough, it's going to be so loose and it won't last. Just continue to overlap the hair one after the other.